We're live. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here today. If you have not, or if you're not here right now, thank you for watching this later. We are very excited to go ahead and relaunch GEG Kentucky. I think, especially this time, the purpose of this group is really to be a hub, so where you can maybe come and find resources, find a training, or even just find an ear. Doesn't matter if you're a Google district, doesn't matter if you are a Microsoft district, doesn't matter if you're a Mac district. This is going to be the place for you. Especially with next year, everything being uncertain, I think this group is really going to be there for you. We really want to empower the educator and give you the skills to shine in the classroom. If that's a regular classroom, that's an online classroom, that's in between, because really the students of Kentucky deserve it. So thank you for coming. That's my little spiel. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide, and we'll introduce ourselves. My name is David Allen. I am a special ed consultant for Hardin County Schools in Kentucky.
Okay, I'm Monica Wainscott. I am a digital learning coach at Beechwood Independent Schools. I'm a certified trainer, Google certified trainer, and Google certified educator levels 1 and 2.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fisher. I'm a district digital learning coach for Fayette County Public Schools in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a Google certified trainer as well, and I'm so excited that we are getting this going that I want to do cartwheels, but I can't.
Okay. Okay. All right. We are a Google educator group. We're not just for trainers or Google certified educators. We are here for everyone. We're a community of educators who are dedicated to inspiring and empowering each other to meet the needs of students. I know personally I was inspired by Ohio's GEG with Eric Kurtz and Stephanie Howell. I've been kind of stalking their group for the last few years, showing up at a couple of different events they had at some of their conferences. And I loved what they were doing for teachers in Ohio. And we wanted to bring that type of community to Kentucky to help fill a gap and empower educators in our own region, as well as connect with educators globally. There is also a global GEG now that we're partnering with that I think is going to be very beneficial for teachers in Kentucky. GEG Kentucky is a great place to showcase professional learning for education. And our mission is that we're hosting a collaborative space for community interaction and shared resources. We are here for teachers, and we're looking for how to best meet the needs of Kentucky students. I believe that COVID has kind of broken down some borders and brought us together in new ways that we never even thought possible. So right now is a great time to kind of grow our professional learning network. And that's what I think our GEG Kentucky group is trying to do. So our community, we're not Google full-time people. This is not our job. We're all volunteers in this. We work together. The three of us have kind of relaunched. There was a GEG previously that I think was maybe a little ahead of its time. But I think now there's so many educators that are looking for ways to connect. We're trying to relaunch our GEG Kentucky group, but we are all volunteers working together. And we're really looking to share and inspire each other. And we want this to be a good resource for you. So we would love to see more people get involved and share out what they're doing and really have a great place for one another. David?
I'm coming. Give me a second here.
Sorry. I ran out of things to say there.
I forgot what button to hit for a second. Okay, our first guest, I have had the pleasure of meeting him recently in March, and he is as great of a guy off his podcast as he is on his podcast. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Jake Miller.
Hi, David. Hi, guys. Congratulations on relaunching this great Google Educator group. This is so awesome. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you, Jake.
Oh, David disappeared, so I guess it's all me. So I am from Ohio, actually, as I think it was Monica was mentioning how awesome our Google Educator group here in Ohio is. I've known Eric Kurtz, who is one of the people who runs the Google Educator group here in Ohio for, gosh, almost a decade. You know, us Ohioans know the work of Eric well, and he's done such a great job leading the Google integration here in Ohio. And now Stephanie Hal has stepped in to help them out, and they're just doing awesome things here in Ohio. And I'm glad to see Kentucky taking steps to do the same things with some great leadership from Monica and David and Laura and everybody else who's involved in this group. So congratulations to you guys. I'm excited for you. As David said, my name is Jake Miller. I'm the host of the Educational Duct Tape podcast, and I was down in Kentucky back in March, a day I'm never going to forget. March 12th, I was down there for KISTI, and it was kind of the day that everything hit the fan. And people like us that work with educational technology and support learners and teachers using Google Apps for Education, we became so important, and we put in so much great work to support the great things happening in our learning communities, and that's great. And this is a perfect time, as they kind of alluded to have a group going like this to support all the educators doing these important things for our kids. When David asked me if I would join you guys for this, first of all, I said, heck yeah, because I love G Suite for Education, because David's a great guy and I love working with educators, so I was happy to be here. But the next thing that I thought about was how much this reminds me of something that I like to talk about that's called the adjacent possible, because a group like this really is about the adjacent possible. And my personal story with the adjacent possible goes back to the University of Engineering, University of Akron College of Engineering, which some of you looking at these slides are probably like, why is some little college in Ohio featured in our Google Educator Group of Kentucky slides here? Well, that's where I went to my bachelor's program. My undergrad program was the University of Akron. And I started off my freshman year studying mechanical engineering. And I found out in my very first mechanical engineering class, as I was working with a group of classmates who are still my friends on a Rube Goldberg machine we were building, I realized they knew everything about what to build and had all these good ideas for how to make it. And they had these great problem solving skills for building this thing. And I was lost. And I realized I'm not an engineer. And finally, what I realized was that, you know what, I wanted to switch to something that suited me better. And I remember calling my mom, who is a retired educator, and telling her, you know what, Mom, I've decided, I'm so sorry. I'm really embarrassed to say this. And I know, I've wasted, the money, the tuition money on this first semester of school, but I've decided to leave engineering. And she said, you're going to become a teacher, aren't you? And I said, yeah, how did you know? And she said, well, Jake, the evidence has been there all along. You love playing with your young cousins. When your high school math teacher gave you a chance to tutor elementary school kids in math, you jumped at it and you loved it. You love speaking, you love math, you love working with people, and you always work so well with kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at how she saw all this evidence together that made her realize this. And that was the adjacent possible right there. That was her taking all of those individual experiences and them opening up different options in her mind. And finally, as I went into that College of Engineering class, it opened up for me. And that's the adjacent possible. That's where the things that you expose yourself to open you up to new possibilities. So the adjacent possible was first coined by a guy named Stuart Kauffman, who was a evolutionary biologist, I think. But the most common work on it comes from a guy named Stephen Johnson. And he says, the adjacent possible is a kind of shadow future hovering on the edges of the present state of things, a map of all the ways in which the present can reinvent itself. In other words, what's possible is adjacent to what you're experiencing now. So whatever situation you're in now, new possibilities are open just outside of your reach right now. And that's what had to happen with me in that story of my kind of history there, where working with my younger cousins and working as a tutor and enjoying math classes and things like that started to open up this adjacent possibility of me being a math teacher, which was my first job coming out of college before I became a technology integration specialist. And that's that adjacent possible. But this also applies in our classrooms too, and in our PLNs especially. Johnson also says the strange and beautiful truth about the adjacent possible is that its boundaries grow as you explore them. Each new combination opens up the possibility of other new combinations. And you know what? You guys all, GEG Kentucky, you guys are a new combination. You are a bunch of people working together, and the wisdom of each of you grows thanks to the wisdom of each of you as you work together. That is the adjacent possible. If you allow it, other educators can open up new adjacent possibilities for you. Now, how does this happen? Well, this happens by listening to the ideas of somebody like David or Monica or Laura or myself or Eric or Stephanie here in Ohio. But it also happens to sharing your wisdom and hearing their responses to it. So as I say, hey, this is a really great way to use Google Slides, you might say, oh, cool, I could do that. And then I could also do it this way. And I'm like, whoa, I hadn't thought of that. These things are adjacent possibilities. And as we develop these PLNs, that's what we're opening ourselves up to. Because each one of us that's part of a GEG or a PLN of any sort, we all have the power to research and learn all of the new things going on in G Suite for Education, for example. We don't really need a group to tell us all of that information and what new updates there are to the tools. But what we do need is a group to help us grow together, because as those new pieces of information, those new updates, those new learnings, those new little pieces, as they connect, they connect these adjacent possibilities, and we all grow and get better from it. And that is why GEGs and PLNs are so helpful and so beneficial for you. That's the adjacent possibility. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this. I hope that you'll continue to invite me to these things as you do them, because I want to learn from you, just like I learned from the ones in Ohio, just like I learned from the global Google Educator groups. This is so exciting. If you guys have ideas of the ways you're going to use these things, I'd love for you to share them with me. There's my contact information on screen. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to chat with me. But most of all, just keep doing what you're doing as educators for the kids, for the learners, for the families, for the communities, for the other educators that you work with, and keep on doing this lifelong learning thing that you're doing. If you are here right now connecting to this, you are a lifelong learner, and thank you for that. That's awesome, because you're opening yourself up to some huge adjacent possibilities, and you're showing what an awesome person you are. So thanks for having me, guys. I'm so excited for this work that you guys are doing.
And see, all this time I thought you were, it was Never Forget, because you interviewed me that day at
Right.
Kisty.
Yes, that was my memory. The day I interviewed David Allen for my podcast.
It was.
Brandy New is somewhere watching going like, hey, you interviewed me too, Jake.
Yeah, we'll get to her later.
Right.
All right, coming up next, I want to add Monica back.
That was an awesome message, Jake. Thank you. That very well. It's about the possibilities. And next up, we have Laura Raganaz, who is our Kentucky digital learning coach leader in the state. And she has done such an amazing job connecting all of the DLCs across the state. So I wanted her to come on today and talk about the power of growing your PLN. So welcome, Laura. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It's so exciting to be here with you all today. And so, yeah, Jake, you will never forget Kisty. Whenever this whole COVID-19 thing happened, we were all at Kisty. So a very memorable event. But I'm Laura Raganaz. As Monica said, I am the state lead for digital learning coaches in Kentucky. I'm also a Google innovator. And I am excited about the rebirth of a collaborative group like GEG Kentucky. And as Monica mentioned, you know, DLCs, digital learning coaches, and so we've rebranded that. Some people still call us TISs or TRTs, but we sort of renamed ourselves digital learning coaches because we felt like that name just sort of put the focus on the learning and less on the technology. And so DLCs, you know, sort of have felt like an island in the past, but the DLC network has provided answers and the support to alleviate that feeling. So much like the GEG mission statement talks about inspiring and empowering, you know, it's not about just one person. It's not about, you know, while they're all fabulous DLCs, and it's not about David, and it's not about Monica, it's not about Kelly, it's not about myself or any other DLCs individually. It's about us as a network, about us as a group, so that we can share and we can learn, we can collaborate. And as Monica said, we built this group of district DLCs that meet once a month in a region. And then we are meeting 2 to 3 times per year across the state. to meet together and just share and learn from each other and collaborate. So we're not all reinventing the wheel, and that we are able to lean on each other so that we don't feel like we're just out there just, floundering, trying to figure things out on our own. And so we started last spring of 19. We started out, we had identified about 70 digital learning coaches in the state, but now we have approximately 190. And so some of those are full-time, some of those are part-time. We would love to see every district have a digital learning coach, because it just makes our network of folks stronger, because we all bring something a little bit different from our experiences. We can provide the support that other people are looking for. So the beauty of the DLCs and the GEG is that we sort of have that same mindset, if you will. And so I am super thrilled that the GEG group is coming back to life. And, while it might be specific to one thing, at one point in time, and we see that sometimes in our DLC group, we have the ability to just lean on each other and help each other and make each other stronger and lift each other up. And sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on, and then sometimes you need somebody who's going to be your cheerleader. So whatever the case may be, just know that we are all here to help each other. Welcome that collaboration with the GEG group, because we all have that same focus of meeting the needs of our students. And as I tell the DLCs all the time, I am always here to assist. So if there's anything that I can do, any questions that I can answer, please let me know. I have a passion for the work, and I just can't wait to see where this group goes. So thanks for letting me be a part of your kickoff today. And I'm excited to see where this takes our students in Kentucky, because that's our end goal. So thank you so much. And y'all just have a great time doing this, and go team.
Well, thank you. And Laura, even though she will not admit it, is a rock star. So I got into the DLCs this spring. So I'm very excited to see and be a part of that group. We'll go ahead and up next is our friend Kelly.
Hey everybody, so I just wanted to take a moment to walk you through the GEG website. And so as David is opening that up, I wanted to let you know that the GEG site is your informational hub. So once you open it up, make sure to click on that star in the Omni box and add it to your favorites. This will be a great way for us to share and connect with each other. As you can see, the home has all the links for us to inspire, share, and connect with each other. And David will talk a little bit more about these in just a minute, but I wanted to point out the discussion group to you. If you also look on the top tab for discussion board, this will walk you through step by step in joining our Google group. And this is our main line of communication with you. So we will use this to promote events, PD opportunities, to share resources, to carry on conversations with each other, and more. So please make sure to walk through these steps and join as soon as you can. Also at the top, you'll see our monthly meetings. So this is where we will post upcoming dates, whether they are live or virtual, and links if they are virtual, as well as our meeting agenda. The next tab is the events, and this is going to be an important one because this is a place where you can get an overall view of upcoming events. You'll note our first meeting is on the calendar. It's on July. It flipped too fast. I forgot it. He'll catch me up. We're going to meet the first Monday of each month at 4:30, so we can hope you will join us. So July 6th, thank you. Also, at the bottom of this page, if you have an event coming up that you would like to advertise and to share with other educators, please fill out that form and submit it to us. And the very last tab, get involved. There are so many ways to get involved in a GEG, and we can't wait to discover those with you throughout the years. But if you have the time and the interest in becoming a leader, please scroll down and fill out that form to let us know. We can't wait to connect and inspire and empower each other. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. So I'm going to talk about this. So there are many ways for us to start discussion. So one thing you can do is you can go and follow us on Twitter. GEG Kentucky is live. We have started posting stuff on it recently. Please go and subscribe to our GEG Kentucky YouTube channel. That way we can kind of get rid of the word jumble at the end of our YouTube link and kind of have a GEG Kentucky one. Monica has made a killer website. So it's bit.ly.geg Kentucky. We also have a Facebook group. So follow us on Facebook at GEG Kentucky. And you're like, okay, you got a Twitter, a Twitter page, you got a Facebook page. Well, I think the Facebook page is going to have more of those intimate discussions. So please join both. And of course, join our Google group as well. That way, that's going to be our main line of communication. So basically, our meetings are going to be held the first Monday of the month. They'll be at 4:30. So our first meeting coming up is July 6, 2020 at 4:30. So check the website for the links. We will probably be using StreamYard or we'll be using Google Meet. We're still kind of figuring out how we're going to do this. StreamYard was kind of a first run for us today. But really, yes, I can't stress enough. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us out there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody back and see if we have any questions. So everybody's back here. I'm looking in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
it.
it.
A little bit slow. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either at this point.
Yeah. So I've shared out in the chat our links, and we also have the link to this slide presentation. If you would like to have a copy of these slides, if you're a Google group and you're getting ready to launch your own, feel free to take these and use anything you want. But it's just a bit.ly GEG KY launch. Go ahead and download those, and those have the links to everything that you can join as well. So looking forward to connecting with everyone.
When did the cartwheels start?
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay.
All right. I think we go back to my thing here. Here's the bit.ly, our bit.ly to our to the slide deck.
Yep.
So we will put that in the chat as well. I just want to thank you for attending our launch. I hope, and the intention is that this is going to be the place you're going to go when you need something.
Yeah, we're looking forward to connecting with everyone.
And if you are interested in helping out, please fill that form out. We would like to have representation for all areas of Kentucky. I think right now the three of us are kind of centered in the central. So we're looking for west, we're looking for east. I know Monica's kind of north, but she's still, we consider her central, so. And I know Jake has left, but we consider Jake, we've adopted him as a Kentuckian too. So he's welcome here anytime. I know he's in the chat right now. So I have nothing else. But thank you for attending.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.